Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Here is me answering 10 hair and shaving questions. Enjoy. What should I do with short, thick hair? You want to make sure it's cut into the right shape and really texturized so it has lots of movement, but the last thing you want to do is get it thinned out like crazy. Before I became a barber, I used to get the thinning scissors on it every single week. I could never style my hair how I wanted to because the shape had just been obliterated by these thinning scissors. What you end up having is the length is just all these wispy hairs, and then underneath it, there's a sort of shorter layer, which is where all the thickness is, and it's just a horrible way of having your hair cut. Go to a decent barber that really knows what they're doing, and they'll put it in the great shape for you. Sometimes it can be frustrating, but at the end of the day, it's way better having thick hair than it is having too thin hair. What shaving cream do you recommend for sensitive skin? Now, there's two which I've used which are lovely. There's the Taylor's of Old Bond Street Sensitive Shaving Cream. Lathers up lovely and really easily. Feel like it really coats and protects the skin, and I've never had any irritation after using that. Number two is the Mueller Aloe Vera Shaving Cream. Now, that's really soft and delicate again on the skin. Obviously, having the aloe vera in there, it's really helping to soothe the skin, and that smells really nice as well. How should I get my hair cut when it only grows out and not down? Now, this is a big problem which I've always had. My hair grows straight out and doesn't want to sit down at all. You've got two options really. You can go super short how I do through the sides. That means it keeps it controlled, but you have to keep on top of this really regularly. Option number two is then growing it long enough that it's got the weight of the hair for it to really sit back and push back. You will go through a real frustrating phase with that because for so long it will then sit super wide and it will make your head feel really fat. But once it does get long enough, that's then when it will start to fall back and it'll have that weight to sit back nicely. My hair is dry and straw-like. How can I make it softer? Number one, make sure you're actually using decent products to wash your hair. If you're using something cheap or if you're just using body wash, they really strip the hair and really take it back to super clean. If you can afford it, try and use some better shampoos from more professional brands and try and find a shampoo and conditioner that's really right for your hair. So whether it is on the drier side or whether it is on the oily side. Secondly, I would say make sure you're using a conditioner because as silly as that sounds, there's a lot of people that actually don't use a conditioner. If your hair is on the short side, make sure you always use a conditioner after washing it. Number three, you could use a leave-in conditioner or some sort of serum. That's going to really hydrate and nourish the hair. You can spray these in whilst the hair is damp and then style the hair, still put your products in to style it as you would normally. And number four, which is something a bit left field. Say for example, if you live in London, the water is super hard, really aggressive. So actually you might want to start using bottled water to wash your hair. What's the best way to have your hair messy but a bit of height at the front? Hair dryers are great at bringing texture out and changing the structure of the hair. Put some sort of pre-styler in like a sea salt spray. Turn the hairdryer on medium heat, medium speed. Really get your fingers deep down into the root. What you want to do is buckle the root and lift the hair up. That's how you get all the texture and the volume coming out. And by using your fingers, you can make it more messy and textured rather than it being really smooth. Do the front last and make sure all of it behind it is dry. Move the front over to the left when you're drying it. Move it over to the right. Move it down. Then at the end, lift it up. And that's how you're going to get that volume through there, and it'll still keep lots of the texture to it and won't really be too perfect. Use the cold setting on the hairdryer for 10 seconds and that'll set it in place for the day. I'm going to interrupt this video quickly just to say a massive thank you to all of you who are following, but if you're not and you're enjoying this video, don't forget to click subscribe, as I'd love to have you come along on this journey with me. Now, back to the video. What should I do with the hairs on my cheek above the beard? The good line to think of is from the corner of your lip into the top of the ear. So anything above that, that should then be taken off. A couple of different options. You can either use a razor and get rid of all of that and almost have like a bit of a sharper line in through there. That can be quite tricky to get balanced if you're doing it yourself at home. If you don't want the sharpness, you can get some trimmers and then gradually fade it out. So you can do it at the shortest setting at the very top and then get gradually longer into where that line meets again. So from the corner of the lip to the top of the ear, that's then where you should fade it into it. What is your favorite razor to use? My absolute favorite one is this Mueller Rocker razor in this matte jet black look. You also have it with the stand, you have it with a brush, and it looks so cool. I just think it looks like proper stealth. It gets a bit of a closer shave than a normal closed tooth comb and is a bit heavier. So if you're a beginner, not the best one to start with. As an entry level getting into shaving, I would 100% just recommend the R89 from Mueller. It's a real traditional classic looking razor. Really nice, lovely to use. It's got a nice weight to it and just fits in the hand lovely. Can you shave too much? Absolutely you can. For me, I can only shave maximum every 3 days. If I was to do it before that, my skin would be so sore and irritated and angry, and it just is not enjoyable in the slightest. There are guys whose hair I cut which actually shave in the morning and then in the evening as well because their hair grows that fast and their skin is tough enough that they can take it. So it's really understanding what your skin is like and how it does react. If your skin is super sensitive and you need to shave a bit more frequently, it might be worth investing in some foil shavers. They're a little bit more delicate on the skin, which means you can shave a bit more frequently with them. Why do you add oil before you shave? Well, one, the oil is great at softening the hairs that are on the face, making them more supple, easier to shave off. And two, it's a great lubricant for shaving as well. It helps to make the blade glide across the face a lot easier. Obviously, the last thing you want is any sort of pull or any tug. So by putting the oil on, you just means you can make nice smooth strokes and you can just get a cleaner shave. Did you suffer from razor bumps and ingrown hairs growing up? Yeah, massively I did. And that was one of the reasons why I ended up stopped shaving and actually grew a beard for 4 or 5 years. I'd always get loads of razor burn. I'd always get loads of spots at the bottom here, and I just used to not enjoy shaving at all. I always used to use like a cartridge blade with either 3 blades or 5 blades in it, and would just do shave and just try and get it nice and close and tight. It was only then once I really found out about the double edge razors that then I started getting back into shaving and got rid of all the irritation. When you've only got the one blade going across your face, it's obviously causing way less stress and way less pressure on the skin. It also means I can be way more precise. I have quite a lot of different growth patterns on my neck, so with the single blade I can be more precise, so I can see exactly where the blade is and know where I'm cutting to and where I'm stopping. When you're using a cartridge blade, it's really hard to see where you're actually shaving to. So using a double edge razor has actually made a big difference for my sensitivity, yeah. Thanks for watching today, guys. If you have any questions you'd like answering, drop them down below, as I'll be recording lots of content to try and help you all out. Have a great day, everyone. Much love, Elliot.